All right. This is for like my own vlog. This is for my own memory, for my own whatever. And it's just this is excruciating. I freaking hate this. I hate these feelings. I hate feeling this distant and disconnected from this aspect of me that I got used to having inside. And it's just like I spent like the last like 2 or 3 years, man. Like first off, just being obsessed, just being completely and totally blindsided and consumed with the idea of this person, of this human being, and then literally like feeling this dialogue and this understanding. And I understood it the other night. I was like, it's like a double blind. It's like you're sitting there and you're talking to yourself, but you're talking to this other person. And it's not like they're hearing you verbatim, although there are leaks. There have been leaks. There have been leaks between us. Like you get like a verbatim word or something like that. Or a sentence or a phrase or something. And then I don't know, man. And then I was basically teasing the devil. Like I'm sitting there and I'm envisioning like Jesus Christ, beating the fuck out of the devil, because like it's like I think that people think that the devil is just sort of like we make fun of this image. And it's just like I remember seeing like a shirt on Target like around Halloween that was like, you know, Satan loves you, and it's like fuck you, like Jesus loves you. Satan doesn't love you. I mean, every time there's pain, anytime anybody's triggered to do something that's a temptation that they shouldn't do, that they should overcome, that's the devil. It's just like if you're on that borderline of like, should I do this? Should I pick up that needle today? Should I smoke that pill today? Should I smoke this bowl today? That's that motherfucker that comes in, that thought, that's sharp and hard and tells you, you're not worth it. No one gives a fuck. Who cares anyway? I'm already here. That. That is him. And I've heard it distinctly. So for example, like, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, literally like envisioning myself as Jesus Christ, like dragging the shit out of the devil. And it's like I constantly fight this image. And and I'm dragging this and I'm visualizing it. If you know what the 5D is, like it's basically where you're at. So and I felt it, and I was particularly open because I was on mushrooms. And I was when you're on these like drugs, when you're on like hallucinogens, when you're like uppers. This is what I'm not suggesting that. You can take them medicinally, you can take them for fun. That's on your free will. There are places that you can get to after a while of meditation and contemplation without even having to consider or take drugs. Like that's a given. But historically speaking, like Sufi Muslims, even like Jewish mystics, have taken drugs to sort of bring them closer. And it's all ceremonial and stuff. And obviously, like we've all had those experiences where you're like stoned and you get it. But I'm not suggesting that. And there's also things that have a different footprint than others. Like if you do something like meth, you're gonna invite darker energy. And if you do something that comes out of the ground, you're gonna have lighter energy. And there's ritual around it, prayer, what you think and how you feel, how you go in, what expectations you want. Going to the rave, you might have a slightly different experience. And I'm not putting that away though, because if God has something to say to you, or an energy has something to manifest in you, it will. And here's another thing: whatever comes out of that experience, it is one, something that you had a partnership in, and two, something that is edifying for you. But anyway, so I'm sitting there and I'm having this situation. All of a sudden, like I felt it, like the energy that had been with me, the the feeling of her, was just gone, just and like ever since then, it's just it's painful, it's obnoxious, it's annoying because I've just kind of got used to this, and it's just like I get glimpses every once in a while. Oh, and then the replacement of it, which is like this horrible freaking energy. It's like it feels like static, you know, and like sizzling, like literally sizzling static, um, like a buzzing, like and it's just like if you imagine, you know what what do you call this? A stun gun sounds like, but not with that shocking effect. Just sort of like that bzzz effect, you know. So it's really uncomfortable, and there's also like an intense ringing in the ears, you know. Which, by the way, isn't always negative, and everything is about how you know what you hear or what you experience is about how you feel when it makes you think, you know. And I know that with this energy, I've definitely had negative thoughts. Like one of the thoughts that I had when this first happened, and I was like grieving the emptiness, the feeling of the loss, was this was this image, you know, that like you know like, and this is little said is negative energy. This is what the devil showed me. The devil shows me like a meth pipe and a needle, you know, which I took to be like, well, this pain is going to either leave you in addiction or in death, right? And I'm just like, you know, I woke up immediately and I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen to me, man. So it's like these are the things that you have to stand up for in yourself, like be aware. And I think people don't understand this. Like they think, oh, I'm doing this. This is coming from me. Like, no, you're in a spiritual attack. And if you've had a difficult life or you've had challenges in your life, guess what? Again, you're a conscious co-creator in your life, right? At another level, okay? And then things come and they take us off and they try us and all these other things happen, right? But you're very likely here to teach, edify, help, something, you know. Your pain isn't for nothing. You're not being challenged for nothing. Everything that we do is a learning aspect, you know, and it fits into a greater picture and a tapestry. And and you can't let these gatekeepers, these lower energy things, you know, when they come and they challenge you, it's ours to overcome, you know. And and yeah, so that's just the thing, and that's how I know, you know, like ever since the spiritual awakening, there's an aspect of me that's fractured. You know, people like the Buddhists talk about what the Buddhists talking about finding silence, right? And that reflectiveness inside of you, that aspect of you that is the observer, the silent observer, right? That's where you come down to. I've realized that a lot of the things that I feel or I think or even anxiety aren't necessarily mine, but rather something that come with the body, you know, that come with the environment and energy. And the truer essence of that, the angel essence of that, the the light essence of that, the soul essence of that, is what Buddhists are talking about and enlightened people are talking about. You know, and I'm not there yet. Oh, I kind of am, but you know, I'm in that process, on that journey. You know, and it's just like, but my point is that when you begin to see that and notice that and become that observant voice in the background, you notice that not everything that comes to you is yours, you know, and you don't have to pick everything up. Like they say, you don't have to entertain every thought that comes into your mind. You don't have to become everything that is suggested to you, even if it's a weakness towards you. So yeah, but it's annoying, and I have faith and I believe in God and I believe everything I know and that I've seen and experienced. So I have no doubt. But I also it's still, you know what it is to be able to see up close, see in detail, and then back up and see the big picture and know that this is just a process that you have to go through to get to something else, and feel the desperation of having to sit in that time space while you're moving on to a broader evolution. So yeah, uh, yeah, that's where I'm at today now.